guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Samantha, homeschool mom to two boys, also business owner and working from home. Today we're going to be talking about the 2024 curriculum that we are using this year. On top of what I'm going to show you guys in today's video, we are also using an online source called Homeschool Plus. Now this is fairly new for us. Last year, the online source that I was using was Hooked on Phonics, which did wonderful for us. We absolutely love Hooked on Phonics. The only reason that we are changing is because I want to give us a little bit of a variety for subjects that I just don't have the time to get into when it comes to like physical workbooks and things that I can't do. So when it comes to like our science and our geography, I am getting that in this year through the online source that we're using. Now, I'm not going to dive deep into the online source that we're using today. I'm just going to show you guys the physical curriculum that we are using. I think maybe another time I will talk a little bit about the Homeschool Plus online source that we're using. Since it's fairly new for us, I'm really just in the testing out stages. We are testing it out to see how it works for our family, see if my kids like it, and that's pretty much where we're going with that. So yeah, let's get right into it. So this is where I keep our curriculum and all the materials that we use in a day. I pretty much just have it labeled. Each kid knows where to find their stuff. Makes it easy so that they could just grab it and go. All right, so I've laid out all of our materials here. I have an 8-year-old and I have a 6-year-old. As far as my 8-year-old goes, we have our language arts. We have another binder, which I start the morning off with a morning menu. I'll show you guys that in a minute. And then we have our math and our handwriting. These are the main textbooks that we work out of as far as our book work curriculum goes. And then I also have a 6-year-old. Same thing. We start with a morning menu. We have our language arts, and then we have our math and handwriting. Okay, so a couple of things here. If you watched my first video, if you watched my last video, I talked about how my first year did not go as planned 100%, as far as scheduling, different things going on with family visiting and things like that. So we have started school for about 2 weeks now. So what we're doing is we're actually finishing the language arts book that we were working on last year. We had started with The Good and the Beautiful's Level K language arts. My 8-year-old was very behind in public school when it came to his reading skills. So after testing him out, I decided to start him on the Level K language arts book. Okay, and that actually worked with my 6-year-old because he was starting on level K as well. So I really work with both kids on the level K language arts book. We should be done with these by about November. Keep in mind, we have started the new year. Let's see, we started towards the end of August. Did take a month off in the summer because I do have stepkids that kind of come visit. So we took a month off during the time that they're supposed to be here because it just makes it easy. When we have everyone here, that's our like vacation time. So we did take about a month off for the year, and then we started towards the end of August, about 3 lessons a week. Sometimes we can do more. Sometimes we can get 4 lessons a week or 5 lessons a week, but at a minimum, 3 lessons a week. And then after that, we'll be starting on the level 1 language arts from The Good and the Beautiful. Okay, that's for the language arts. We typically start our morning off with a walk or some sort of exercise, and then we jump into our morning menu, which I just printed these out. I made these in Canva and I printed these out for my kids. I keep the morning menu very simple. It's really just today's weather, practicing writing and verbally stating their birth dates, days of the week, and then we do have phone numbers here just because it's important for them to know their phone numbers. I have them practice their address. I don't want to show the whole thing, but we do practice our address, and then positive affirmations, Then I have our hundreds chart here because I will usually add in a little something extra. So we may practice counting by twos or practice counting by fives, tens, things like that. So I like to use the hundreds chart too. And you can still see some of my son did his twos today. So he circled starting from number 2, he circled all the numbers counting by twos. So I will usually throw something a little extra in here. Sometimes I even add something in the back here as a little extra practice, and that's usually in our morning menu. Yep. It's a little windy out here. It is getting ready to rain. So morning menu is the same for both kids. Okay. Then we have our handwriting books, which is also from The Good and the Beautiful. I'm going to show you just a few pages here. So you can kind of see what this looks like. My 8-year-old sometimes likes to rush. I can tell when he's rushing versus when he's taking his time. So obviously these first couple of pages are when we first started homeschooling. And then as we progressed, he started taking his time and trying to do better with that. And then same thing for my 6-year-old. He is finishing up his book. Now, these we started our first year, and they're finishing these up like literally. This one's got maybe like 8 pages left, and then this one's got like 4 to 6 pages left. He's got in here. So I've actually already ordered the new ones. So from the level 1 handwriting, my 8-year-old will be going on to the level 2 handwriting from The Good and the Beautiful. And then my 6-year-old will be moving on to level 1 handwriting. So I've already ordered these because they're almost done with the previous ones. And then for our math, right now we're currently using the Dimensions, the Singapore Dimensions math. For my 8-year-old, we are on 2A, and then for my 6-year-old, we're finishing KA. When we're done with these books, because they're also almost done with these math books, we will be switching our math. We're still going to be going with the Singapore math, but we're going to be going with the primary mathematics, which is more geared towards homeschooling kids, homeschool families. The Dimensions math is more geared towards like school or bigger groups. And they pretty much follow the same concepts as far as practicing, mental math, and like the concepts that the Singapore math is based off of is pretty much the same. The only difference that I've seen with the Dimensions and then the primary mathematics is that this one has a lot more problems like per lesson. Let's see if I'll give you an example here. So here's like lesson 1. They have like the think section, which is like you discuss the concepts here. And then here you kind of practice the concepts with them, breaking it down. And it does break it down into sections. And then here you're like doing it. You're practicing it. And then it continues to practice it over the course of multiple pages per lesson. I have found that for like my 8-year-old, he has ADHD, and this does not work for him. It takes us a lot. There is a lot of struggle and a lot of fight with this. Many times we only can get through but like a couple problems kind of at a time, and then the rest of it will just kind of, so I don't do per lesson. For math, I typically like to do time. So I'll set a timer for about 20 minutes, and we will work for about 20 minutes, and we'll just get as far as we can in this book. Eventually I did start crossing things out. Once I can see that he knows and understands the concept, that's where he'll kind of get sick of it and tired of it, because he's like, why are we continuing to go over the same thing again and again and again? So eventually I did start to cross things out or skip things over if I see that he's doing well in those areas and understands the concept. You see here, you can see that I crossed out a whole page because I could see that he understood the concept over here, and I didn't feel like we needed to continue working on it over here, because it's more of a struggle than necessary. Now, when it comes to my 6-year-old, this was pretty much easy for him. I haven't needed to cross out as much here. He pretty much is, the wind is it's just blowing my pages. So So I haven't really needed to cross out too many things in this book for him. But since I'm switching to the primary mathematics, for me, it's just easier to do that for both kids. So when that comes in, I will show you guys what that looks like when we first get it. And then I will probably show you guys a review as we go on and see how we like it. Now, with the language arts from The Good and the Beautiful, I'm going to move these over. With the language arts for The Good and the Beautiful, I do the print PDF version. It is free, and you get all the same materials that you would get if you were to purchase it. Now, I will say the reason that I print it, and for me, it's cheaper to do it that way, is because my printer is an EcoTank, so it does bottled ink, and that ink pretty much lasts us. Now, if you don't have one of those kinds of printers, then I have heard in many Facebook groups that it costs more to do it that way. Oh my God. If you have a printer that is not an EcoTank and you have to do the cartridges, I have heard in the Facebook groups that it costs more to have to continue buying the cartridges than it does to just buy the curriculum itself. So I think that's something to think about. When I first started, I invested in a printer because I'm also a business owner and I needed one anyways for business purposes. So I decided to just purchase one, and now I use it for so many things. So that really has worked out better for me. So I printed the course book, and I'm just going to show you briefly here. It starts from unit 2 just because we had done unit 1 we did separately. And then I just decided to, put the rest of it in this binder, and now we're just working right out of this binder. This to me was just easier. Then it also comes with reading booster A cards. Okay, and then it also comes with booster books, which these correlate with the booster books and what's going on in the language arts text. Okay, so these all kind of go together. So I bring out these books as we're working on the booster A cards. So if we're working on like CK words, it does have sections in here showing you CK words or all words or AY words. It'll give you words to practice. And then it has books where they are practicing those very same words that they're learning about. So I will show you. See here it says word families group 2, word families group 3. So once we hit those concepts, I will bring these books out. And then they will continue practicing on the previous ones they were working on. And then they'll work on the new ones that we've started working on. This is fairly new, the My First Nature Reader. I did not purchase this the first year. I really wish I did, just because it does the same thing as the booster books. It goes, I'm going to open this up a little bit. It does the same thing as the booster books. It goes with where they're at. So here you see cat CVC words, dog CVC words, and then it keeps going as you continue to read and practice the concepts in the booster A books. So right now we're down to about 13. We're going to start working with short words with Y, beginning consonant blends. So we're starting to work on these words right now. So we've already passed all of these. Now, I just purchased this book this year as part of our new curriculum, and my kids have absolutely loved this My First Nature Reader. I'm about to order the My Second Nature Reader, even though we're really not on there yet. But they love this so much that they've almost read every single story in here, even without going through some of these concepts. Some of these concepts they've kind of seen in other forms. As far as we also utilize online sources to practice language arts and phonics. So some of these they've already seen, like in Hooked on Phonics. For our first year, we use Hooked on Phonics a lot as an additional reading practice, phonics practice source. So it still hasn't rained yet, so I do want to show you guys something additional that I will do with some of our language arts. My kids are very hands-on. They love to play. It's easier for them to learn through play. I think that might be the same for any child. Of course, that depends on timing and many things like that. So one quick thing I will do sometimes for us to practice some of the words in the booster books is, like, for example, as you can see, it's not neat, it's not super straight. It's just I created a couple rectangles words in them, and I will create a game. Sometimes it is like a parking garage game, and I will have them grab a couple of cars, and they will have to read the word and then put the car on top of the word, and then they have to do that for all the words. Sometimes we'll do zoo animals, where they kind of have to put the zoo animals back in their cages because they've escaped the zoo. They really love this game because they get to incorporate some of their favorite toys in here, and I will let them choose which toys that they want to use, which animals or which cars. And same concept. Oh, this is upside down. Same concept. They have to read the word and then place a toy on the word. This one's sight words, and then this is words that we practice for the booster card words. So just a quick little thing I put together. It probably took me like 10 minutes to put this together for them. Oh. Probably took me like 10 minutes to put this together for them, and they absolutely loved it. And we've actually practiced it on multiple occasions just to review these words, just to make sure they have it down. So I do have it in here, because sometimes if timing is tight for us, we would just do a quick little game for our language arts practice, really depending on, if things don't go as planned, or if just new things arise and we can't get our whole curriculum done, get our whole lesson done, then we might do something quick like that. Or I may throw it in as a warm-up before we actually start the lesson.